This is the Crazy Cricut Lady again, and I'm going to talk to you today about the text function. It allows you to put writing into your project that you want. And we're going to go with our standard phrase, happy birthday. The font function automatically puts it in Cricut Sans, regular, font size 72, the letter and line spacing, and all of this we will cover in a minute. We've got our text in, so move it up to where we can center it. Now, if you want to change the font, click this little down arrow, and you can put it in any font you want that's on your computer. Your system fonts, or the fonts on your computer, will have no little markings next to them. That could mean that you're your fonts or Cricut fonts. The way to separate them is system fonts are yours. You can use those for free. If you click the Cricut button, it'll show you fonts that Cricut has supplied. If you have access, you can pretty much use most of these fonts. When it gets down here, it shows you non-access fonts and how much it would charge to use those fonts. You also can search the fonts if you want, and I'm going to search Impact, I-M-P-A-C-T. And there it chooses Impact font. Now, Impact's a system font, and it's a nice bold text font that is filled in. You can choose the style. You can have regular, which is what that is. You can have bold, which makes it just a little thicker. You can have italics. Or you can have bold italics, which is a little thicker and slanted. In this box, you can choose the font size. The default size when you put in fonts is always 72. You can take it down to 1, but you can't read that. We're going to make it 72 again, just because it creates nice big fonts, and we're going to make it regular. Letter spacing is the spacing between the letters, and usually I will just adjust that with the little arrows. As you can see, as you lower it, it puts them closer together. This is particularly helpful with script fonts that you want to join together. So let's put it back at 1.2. which is where it starts at, and we're going to choose a script font. We're going to find a nice Cricut script font, and I've got the Cricut selected here, and a nice one I believe is called Billionaire. Let's see if it's down here. Yep, there it is. Script fonts look better when they're all joined together like actual handwriting. So the easiest way to do that is ungroup the letters and then move each individual letter so that it lines up perfectly. And Billionaire is a nice one. If you want to see it closer, down here in the corner, there's a nice zoom function. And you can zoom up to, I don't know what the limit is, but 200 works rather well. And you can see them a lot better that way and can line them up perfectly. And a lot of times the capitals won't fit to these, but you can make them still look much nicer by fitting them close together. And then once we're done fitting them all together, we're going to weld them. Weld I'll go over in another lesson, but we're just going to use it a little bit here to join these together. As you can see, it's 200 zoom, and these look pretty good together. So select them all and weld them. That looks much better than the letters all separate, and I see a lot of complaints online about people, why don't people join their letters together? Well, now they're joined. You cannot manipulate them as fonts anymore because they are not fonts. They're now a single weld result or a single image. We're going to retype our happy birthday now. I'll put it back in Impact. And then I'm going to add a second line. I'm going to add 2U. We can show you the line spacing. It works the same way as letter spacing. When you click it down, they get closer together. When you click it up, they get further apart. 0 is not touching each other. You'll just have to play with it because it varies for every font. Then there's the alignment. You can align them left, which they were. You can align them center, or you can align them right. And this works the same way as a normal word processing program. In the advanced, you can ungroup the letters, but right now we're going to show you ungrouped lines. And then you can manually put them wherever you want them. Also, when you ungroup the lines, you can curve the individual lines. When they were 2 lines, you can't curve them. You can only curve them when they're single lines. You can ungroup the letters, which now every single letter is a separate function. We're going to undo this. By the way, if you have your text selected, if you double click on your letters, it will let you edit them. This is a multi-layer font. It's called Frightful Affair. As you can see, there is a orange layer, and we'll hide that for a second, and there is a black layer. I'll go in how to do all of this hiding and everything in the layers tutorial. Now, you can change the color of each layer. For instance, we have the black layer highlighted. If we want to make it yellow, we can do that, and you see the back layer became yellow. If we want to change the front layer, we can change its color too. And we can ungroup to layers. That means each layer is separate. And you can curve each layer differently. Maybe you want it to look like that. Now, they don't fit over top of each other anymore, but maybe that's what you want. We're going to back this up a little bit and go back to our impact. And we're going to undo the curve. And if you want to undo it, all you do is take it back to 0. We can fill letters with a pattern. And take it to print and select the little blue, change it to pattern. Say you want a birthday print that's striped. Ta-da! Okay, I don't recommend stripes. That one's not pretty. We'll change it to this other color here. And again, this may take a little while. It has to think about it for a while before it does it. But once it does, it'll switch it all over to that. And again, when you're using patterns, you have to print them. We're going to change this back to no fill, and it changes it back to black. If you want to say happy birthday go down, the only way to do that is do it like this. You put a enter after each letter, and it will make the letters go down. Now, this does not allow you then to curve it. If you want a vertical setting and you want it to say curve, you have to ungroup the letters and then line them up by hand. But you can do that. Some things about letters that you need to know. When you're working with text, if you go above the area with the menu, it sort of loses the letters and you can't see it. That's just something you learn to work with. There is a very nice application online, and I have it bookmarked. It's called wordmark.it. It's a Chrome edition. You can type any word, and we'll go stick with our happy birthday. Press enter, and it will show you what your phrase looks like in every single font you have installed. It will not show you Cricut fonts because technically those aren't installed on your computer. Those are installed on Cricut's computer. But I'm a fontaholic, so I have different fonts. I have several hundred as it is right now, like 900. I may have actually gone over 1,000, but it will show you what that phrase looks like in every font. As you can see, I have some interesting dingbat fonts. So it's a useful little program for when you can't decide which font you want, or you think you have that font but you're not sure what the name of it is. It's called wordmark.it, and it helps you choose your fonts. I hope everybody understands fonts now. Thank you for watching my video, The Crazy Cricut Lady. There's nothing to be scared of.